Hi, and welcome back to our Okinawan Kempo YouTube channel, teaching some techniques of Kiyojute Ryu. We're going around the circle. We did Kempo, we've done Go, and Ju, and Aiki. And we talked about Aiki being a refinement of Ju. If you can refine Aiki, which is harmony energy, it becomes in-yoho, or that perfect balance of positive and negative, of activity and rest. It is the perfect union of the diametric opposite. And is also, and this is important for theory in Kiyojute Ryu, is part of our Chinese Kempo. We do Japanese things, we do a lot of Okinawan things, and really the Okinawan lens is our main one. But we also have the Chinese systems, and this specifically is the Chinese internal system. There is a saying in the Chinese martial arts that long fist is for beginners. It's easy to teach someone to generate force with a big movement. It is much more difficult to teach someone to generate force with a very small movement. But the ability to do that and the value in being able to do that cannot be overstated. For me to parry someone and settle and drill them, that's good. I need to know how to do that. But when the man is on top of me and he's pressing upon me, and I have the ability to whip my energy into that small space and penetrate his body, that is an amazing skill to cultivate. So it's a little bit different tonight, a little bit more esoteric in some ways. Tai Chi in the modern era is not treated well. People who teach it at YMCAs for exercise. Most people do not see the combat dimensions in Tai Chi. And I couldn't begin to talk about that tonight. We could talk about Xingyi, we could talk about Pakwa, we could talk about Yichuan. There is so much that's part of this really, really beautiful art. What we will do tonight is I'm going to demonstrate a movement, and then using the same attacks that we've been using throughout this series, roundhouse, lunge punch, and front kick, I'll demonstrate a striking and a grappling application for each one. So to begin, we're thinking about defending against the lunge punch. And that's the move. Now, we do that in Tai Chi fashion, moving through the stances, pushing off the ground, and showing continuous movement. That's the way we practice it. There's incredible health benefit for that that medical science has documented. I encourage you to head to Google Scholar and start looking for the medical benefits of Tai Chi. Most of the time they don't attempt to express why it's good for you, but there's a large body of science that documents it in fact is. Again, that slow circular movement. And then we see that against a roundhouse punch. Just right in. Same movement, but done with power and with whipping energy. One more time. All right, so that's our striking technique. For our grappling technique, I'm going to do a little projection. All I'm doing is taking spear hand, taking a snake head, and setting it right at the bottom of his throat. If I wanted to, I could press his kidney to create a fold. If I didn't want to do that, I could just send him away. All right? So that's for our roundhouse punch. For our lunge punch, I'm basically doing the big pull. This is one of the core 13 postures in our version of Tai Chi. And again, you can see that slowness and that openness and that circularity. Again, to apply it, I just do it with whipping power, lunge punch. And then with a real weapon. I could still hit him with a crane technique here at the base of his skull, but I'm making a fist, and doing that back knuckle right at the base of his head, okay? And again, this becoming and putting all that power into that small space. For a grappling technique, I'm just going to straighten out his arm and continue the whip. Something very similar to Ikkyo. We don't worry about names very much when we're interpreting in this way. But blocking, continuing that flow, touching. And I can project him away. A lot of times in the Chinese arts, we don't think about projecting and we don't think about holding. We just dislocate. And that would also be a possibility there. Finally, for the front kick, going to do a little inner circular deflection and a push. Little inner circular deflection and a push. He comes and throws his front kick, and again, the same motion, but very different in application, whipping that technique. And again, it could be a back knuckle. It could be a heel hand. Could be a snake fangs. Could be a tiger claw. It doesn't matter what it is, but just that I'm applying the power in that snappy, scary way. And then to finish with a grappling technique, and again, I can't do it, but I'd take him from here to there, and we'd mop him up after the fact. Tai Chi, guys, I could talk for a long time, but I won't. When I came to Kiyojute Ryu, and I said this in the jujutsu videos that we've done, I found everything I knew from, heavens, a decade of training, but I found more than I knew. And certainly that was true of Tai Chi. I had memorized 24 move form, thought I was very knowledgeable. I had memorized the great circle, as they call it, of the Yang style, which is 108 movements, takes 20 minutes to complete when you're doing it at speed. And still, when I came to Kiyojute Ryu, there was more. It just, even to this day, 23 years later, I'm still just amazed at the beautiful completeness of the system. So for those of you who have never experimented, never trained in those Chinese internal arts, sometimes you see those things and you think, why would I ever do that? When you know what you're doing, when you know what the move is about, I promise you it is a valuable knowledge set to have. We hope you'll like and subscribe, ring the bell to where you know when the next video comes out. Above all, head to our website. There's information there about how to talk to me. We would love to hear what you like and what you don't, and what you'd like to see next. Thanks.